Hey my people, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. I appreciate all of you that keep supporting. Thank you for the super chats and super thanks. And a big shout out to my members that choose to give support to my channel exclusively. And definitely we are back with another interesting, good episode. Yes, in today's we have a plantation house that caught on fire in Louisiana. Yeah, the name is Nottoway Plantation House. And for you to get a bit of history about this, because I'm also just learning about it because I came across clips on TikTok of this plantation house burning, and quite a number of palm colored people, their feelings are hurt because this was such a monumental place. Oh my goodness, we can't believe we are not going to have weddings there anymore. They renamed it. Instead of calling it the plantation house or slave house, these people called it the plantation resort. So they were doing their weddings and all the celebratories. Like, you have to be another kind of cold person to even have your vows at that place, right? But a bit of history of this plantation: it was in Louisiana, and they're saying it is also known as Nottoway Plantation House. It was a historic plantation house located near White Castle, Louisiana, United States. The home was a Greek revival and Italianate styled mansion built by enslaved African American laborers. And I think that gives you a picture. But because of how palm colored people feelings are hurt, because this monumental place is destroyed, and a bit of history, yeah, black people came here to give their reactions and feelings and how they feel. Some of them are saying, you know what, our ancestors are not sleeping, they are doing all of this. Others are saying God has really burned this down. Others are saying you palm colored people are the only people that have been benefiting off this, renamed this historical site. Instead of making it a museum, you made it a place to celebrate and you beautified it, right? And we are the people that are supposed to be benefiting from this because our ancestors' laborers put this up, right? So we do have quite a number of reactions that I'm gonna play for us on here. Credit goes to the creators. You have to look at this. It's gonna be a long video, but bear with me. All of it is nice. Let's watch this, come back and talk about it. Do not forget to subscribe if you're coming on for your very first time.
How many white tears will it take to extinguish a burning southern plantation? Well, let's find out. As you can see here, they learned some very devastating news that this plantation, built in 1859, South Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was burnt down and completely lost. I had the pleasure of staying there a number of years ago, and I'm sure it was a pleasure for you. Just heartbreaking, to you and maybe all of the people that booked this as their wedding venue. I mean, what memories they must have made there on those grounds. Because this was the resort, the resort plantation home, Because this fire caused massive damage to this 166-year-old house on the Mississippi River. The parish mourns the loss of one of its most iconic landmarks, this historic plantation in White Castle, Louisiana. So devastating. What a tremendous loss this must have been for so many people. As it says, this was built in 1959, was the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the South, but also a symbol of both the grandeur and the deep complexities of our region's past. Now, what complexities would you be talking about? because, you know, you never go into it really in here. You just talk about how grand this plantation was, this resort that all these people spent ungodly amounts of money to go to and take pictures and share these wonderful memories on this land, this plantation land that was built by who again? That was inhabited and cultivated by who again? You know? That's going up in flames right now, that we're all supposed to feel so devastated about the loss of this history. This history that many of the people that are so devastated don't want to talk about, don't want to teach kids, want to pretend like didn't happen because that was the past and we should get over it, right? All I can say is I'm happy that no one was injured during this, because that was my first thing before I went into any of this. I looked to make sure no one was hurt. No one was hurt, no one was injured. The only thing that was damaged were some white feelings, some racist white feelings, and this piece of history. So apparently some people aren't going to be able to exchange their vows at this beautiful and historic landmark. And all I have to say is, though I've given up carbs and sugar, I will get the s'mores kit. And if you guys want to meet me on the front lawn, I say we celebrate like the roof is on fire.
To the white people that are so fucking mad that we don't give a fuck about that Nottoway fucking plantation that was just burned down, fuck you. First of all, why the fuck would we give a fuck about a plantation that our ancestors were slaved on? Murdered, hung, beat, raped, and forced into fucking labor. Forced to pick fucking cotton as they hands bleed. Bitch, we don't give a fuck that y'all mad. Let that motherfucker burn. And to all the people that say, oh, it's for the history, we humbly decline. Fuck that history. Because y'all done played in our face too fucking long. Y'all talking about history when, bitch, all we see is fucking movies about slavery this. Oh, massa? Oh, come on, massa. How many fucking Root movies was it? Did we even need all them fucking Root movies? Write it down, take a picture, but we didn't need that fucking plantation to be standing that fucking long anyway. Thanks, Annabella.
Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Fire. Woo, 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 woo. Nottoway Plantation down there right underneath Baton Rouge, home to 150-something slaves, is burning to the ground. Thank you, ancestors. Mind you, people love this God-forsaken, evil-ass place. Look at this place, is the shit they got on this property, y'all. They got the nerve to call this fucking cursed ground a damn resort. It was owned by John Randolph. May he burn in hell continuously. And all his fucking family members. And I hope some of them on this page right now. I don't know if the ancestors wanted to remind us to keep up the good fight of faith or what. Nigga, I ain't never been so happy to see smoke billowing. God damn it. Look at the beautiful, beautiful footage. I know. Some of y'all say, Darian, this is a historical landmark. Fuck this historical landmark. Burn, baby, burn. That's where it's located. God bless you, ancestors. God knows I wish we could have been there to put something on the grill when this bitch burnt to the ground. Here's to many more burning up. Fire.
The scene behind me is a plantation house in Louisiana that is burned down. It's burning down in this video. But this is not just any plantation house. This was the largest antebellum plantation house in the South, owned by one of the richest enslavers in the South. This is the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana. It was built by enslaved Africans in 1859. It was owned by this guy, John Randolph. Now, John wasn't even from Louisiana. He was from Virginia originally, but he came from a wealthy slave-owning family, and his dad was hired by the federal government to do something in Louisiana, and he moved with him. Now, originally, he wanted to make it into a cotton plantation, the same type of plantation that he was used to in Virginia. But he noticed that the climate in Louisiana was a lot different, so he changed it to a sugar plantation. And because of that, he ended up tripling his family's wealth. John Randolph enslaved 176 people. But the plantation house itself was built around the same time as the Civil War. John didn't want to fight in the Civil War. He was scared. So he sent 3 of his sons and he asked, how much money do I have to give to keep me out of this? And he was a huge financial backer of the Confederacy in Louisiana. When he realized that the Confederacy was losing, he left his wife in Louisiana, took 200 slaves, and went to Texas. Once the Civil War was over, he contracted with 53 bonded people, basically people that owed him money and were working to pay it off. It's just another form of slavery. He eventually died in 1883, and his wife eventually sold the plantation for $50,000. That's the equivalent of $1.9 million today. And now he has no legacy at all.
I'm just saying, we declared Ginger's black the other day. And that Annabelle doll went to the Nottingham plantation. And if y'all have never looked up what the actual Annabelle doll looks like, let me show you. She said for the ancestors.
I woke up to the amazing news that plantation down in Louisiana burned down. Glory to God. Now let's talk about it. Just a couple of weeks ago, that little meth head chased the baby and called him the N-word. Y'all championed it. Raised close to $1 million. We couldn't do nothing about it. Our ancestors said, don't worry, my children. We got you. Then, boop. Listen, that mansion been sitting up there through all those years of slavery, Jim Crow, Hurricane Katrina, tornadoes, floods. It done weathered the storm. And then out of nowhere, it burned down to the ground. One thing about it. Squabble up. And the owner talk about we vow to rebuild it. Rebuild it, bitch. we don't care. Because one thing about it, our ancestors and God got us, baby.
My name ain't Usher, but they damn sure need to let this Louisiana plantation house burn. Huh? My name ain't Usher, but they damn sure need to let this Louisiana plantation house burn. This behind me is the White Castle in Louisiana. One of the biggest plantation houses down there. Known from John Randolph. Who is he? Huh? John Randolph was a slave owner. Guess what happened? Civil War, he sent his sons off to go fight the war. Huh? Had over 200 slaves. Huh? And then not to mention that, once he found out that they was about to lose the Civil War, he ran off to Texas because he was still scared. Wouldn't go off himself, but sent his own kids. Huh? You think that we don't care? We care about this burning? It could go all the way down to the damn ground. Sidebar, they lucky I don't live closer. I'll be down there right now, grilling on the front lawn, hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'll be playing Beyonce. Freedom, freedom, let them loose. Y'all talking about historic. The only White Castle we care about, they sell goddamn chicken rings with honey mustard and fish nibblers. Huh? Not this one. We don't care at all. They trying to make it like this is a sad event for the United States. Who cares? Not us. Huh? You know people probably got beat in here that look like me? You crazy as hell. Glad now. This is an awakening. Time for us to rise up, huh? I'm just here to bring you all the news. Apparently the White House from Louisiana just burnt down and is mad. Who gives a damn? My ancestors speaking through us. I'm just a messenger.
Our ancestors is jumping in joy right now. What a beautiful sight this is, y'all. Isn't this a beautiful sight? When I seen this, I was like, bye. We ain't gonna miss you. First thing that came to my mind was Usher. I'm like, let that bitch burn. So for the people that don't know, this was the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana. The largest remaining antebellum mansion in the U.S. Was the largest. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This joint had to go. This house right here then enslaved over 300 people. Our ancestors. This joint had 64 rooms and it took up 53,000 square feet. I'm glad it's gone. Let me get some GGs down in the chat if y'all feel how I feel. Like, I don't give a fuck about this bed burning. Let it burn. So y'all don't get it? America loves to preserve the parts of the history that they're proud of, but they always want to cover up the truth.
Fire-ups at Nottoway Resort. Charring Plantation building. Not the day that she... Not a major plantation burning down the day that Annabelle arrived. You know what? You know what? Yeah. But who said? You know what? Yeah, girl, let me go back to work and getting paid for it, cause that felt very satisfying. I don't know if it's supposed to. The Nottoway Resort Plantation home. Nada anymore.
So Nottoway Plantation burned down in Louisiana, and the amount of people and brides posting their photos in front of the plantation and just the whitewashing is honestly mind-blowing to me. Is it an absolutely beautiful home, and am I sad that people are out of their jobs? Absolutely. But let's not forget how problematic plantations are and how it's freaking wild that people even honestly get married at plantations. I'm sorry if that offends you, but the history behind them and your Black friends that have to attend those weddings, I just feel like I can't keep quiet about it anymore because it's so infuriating to me. And of course, as it never fails in the comment sections for Louisiana news, there's so many people saying, oh, get over it. Oh, so long ago, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't. And it's just so deeply problematic to me and so infuriating. I have no words because it's so frustrating. Please, for the love of God, look up the history of this plantation home and its original owners, please. And the backs of the slaves that it was built on. In their living quarters, and stop acting like it's some great piece of history that we should all adore. It's beautiful, yes. I'll give you that.
Look at this. The Nottoway Plantation, the largest made in antebellum mansion in the South, caught fire. We don't always get joyful news on these apps, but here's some joyful news. And who's going to think of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and all the people that love these plantation weddings? And this place is a resort. Like, people go there and have a good time on a place where enslaved people were brutally... Okay, you know the history. But anyway, you know what? I saw somebody say, oh, what about the historical artifacts, blah, 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 blah. You know what? That's what the African American History Museum is in D.C., that your president is trying to shut down and ship all the artifacts away. So worry about that. Don't worry about this. Burn everyone. Hopefully it's a burn plantation summer, every single one of them. And I'm just going to enjoy my Friday. And I hope you do too. Look at that thing burn.
So, yo, let's just get this straight. Do Louisiana still have plantations? Yes, they do. They're still here inside Louisiana. A lot of people on TikTok and all over social media is so amazed about not knowing that they still have plantations around. They're still here inside Louisiana. So I don't know if y'all seen it on TikTok, but Nottoway Plantation caught a fire on yesterday. The place has been there since 1859. That's when it was built. It been there for 166 years. They have 64 rooms inside the plantation. The fire started from the attic. The fire department is trying to work and see what happened, what caused the fire. They don't know. I guess that's still an ongoing investigation.
But I will say this. Annabella, the doll, was down here in Louisiana. Everybody know Louisiana for the food, the culture, the voodoo. The doll was down here in the city. She was down here for May 13th and the 14th. On the 15th, she left yesterday. After Annabella left yesterday, there go the fire. I'm thinking it had something to do with the doll. I seen the video. The priest is riding around with them in a van. He's blessed in the doll, like with the blessing water, praying and everything. So this is something serious. Like this is really not a joke. Like all of a sudden the dog come down here right after they leave, a fire breaks out at the Nottoway Plantation. They don't even know what caused the fire. What a coincidence. They say the fire started from the attic. But y'all, that's neither here or there. The doll is on tour. Then another video I seen with the voodoo lady in the French Quarters. Annabella was next door to her. She was noticing little strange things that was taking effect in her shop, and she went out to go ask a few people how they feel, how was their experience, and some of them did not have a good experience at all. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this plantation catching the fire, and a lot of people not knowing that they still have plantations around inside Louisiana. Yes, we do. Over 100 and something, might be more than that. Have they been here for years? Yes, since like the 1800s. But that plantation was built in 1859. Been there for 166 years. Any other questions you was like to know? Drop it in the comments. Bye, friends. And TikTok. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm only on here to bring awareness to my friends for educational purposes only. Bye, y'all. Let me know in the comments.
If you didn't know, Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana just burned down. And to that I say, why did it take so long in the first place? But of course there's people crying about it. I'm so sorry that you're not going to be able to have your weddings at a place that served as grounds for some of the most disgusting atrocities a human being could possibly go through. I'm so sorry that you won't be able to rent out an Airbnb where multiple generations of people lost their lives. And I'm going to resist saying that this is karma, because unless the original owners of this plantation are burning with it, it doesn't really count. No, I don't care what caused the fire, honestly. Like, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and I'm all for it this time. And you're going to have a really tough time if you go to Nottoway Plantation's website looking and finding the word slavery written in there, because I feel like they might have left it off there because they don't want to ruin you being able to have your wedding there, to actively think about what that house was used for originally. It was a plantation. I know some of you are going to come in here and say, well, it was just a place for history. If it was a place for history, don't allow weddings to happen there. Look at Auschwitz. They kept it as a memory of what happened. They didn't rent it out for weddings. If it was truly to remember the legacy of the people that died on that plantation, then you should have left it at that.
Y'all mean to tell me that Annabelle done left Louisiana? No sooner has she left the state and made her way to Texas, does the largest plantation in Louisiana get set up on fire and burned. Nottoway Plantation, y'all, that enslaved 176 people, I believe, burned up. A plantation that, as we know, was romanticized and made into a romantic attraction, a resort. Look at you now. I think it's safe to say the ancestors are on our side. They hear us. They see what's going on. And they tired of the bullshit. And when we said we are not going back, they said we are not going back. I would not be surprised if we start seeing this happen to plantations around the country. Those that have been romanticized and ignore the experiences of the enslaved African Americans who were here against their will, and the torture and the horrors and trauma that happened on these grounds. I would not be surprised if we start seeing this happen all around the country. A reckoning. And now they got Annabelle headed to Texas. I think she's in San Antonio right now. My hometown, actually. If y'all could make a detour to Austin and just drop her off with Greg Hot Wheels Abbott, maybe Ted Cruz too, just for like an hour. Just an hour or so. Just let her sit. Just let her sit. And then y'all could take her to wherever y'all going next. But just consider it, okay?
Hey, yo, the ancestors wildin' out, yo. The ancestors wildin' out. The main building at Nottoway Plantation. The oldest surviving antebellum slavery plantation. Has on fire, baby. The ancestors is not playing. A lot of people don't understand hoodoo. See, hoodoo, people think that we're just root workers. You know, your element is just earth and water. Oh, no. They use fire, too, baby. They use fire. And you know it's bad when it's on World Star, baby. I told you, 2025 and beyond. Listen, white supremacists, y'all have had your time. You've had your time. And now the ancestors, they have said, burn this shit up. Burn this shit up. Oh, Lord. I told you. I told you. The ancestors, they are not playing games this year, yo. I'm trying to not upset them. I want to keep them happy because, Lord, they are busy.
I had to sit up for this. Because if it wasn't evident before, it should be evident now. The ancestors is pissed off. And Nottoway Plantation in Iberville Parish in Louisiana, perfect fucking example, baby. That place is burnt to a crisp. Y'all keep having all these weddings at plantations like it's cute. That's weird. You're literally having a wedding where someone owned fucking slaves. You clearly don't understand the history behind these plantations. Or, devil's advocate here, you do understand the history behind these plantations and you just don't give a fuck. Like, you really are getting married on the same grounds where people swung from trees. Baby, that plantation burned to a motherfucking crisp. To a motherfucking crisp. Do you hear me? Y'all need to stop playing with these ancestors. I said it, and I say it again. The karma that this country is about to get, unprecedented. Unfucking precedented. There's nothing that you could tell me to make me believe the ancestors ain't let that motherfucker burn to the ground. Do you hear me?
Watching that plantation burn down in Louisiana just got me to thinking, like, why do they have so many neighborhoods with plantation in the name? Like, you couldn't think of no other name to name this place but plantation? Like, Rolling Hills Estates wouldn't be good, or Blue Sky Estates, or Uppity Neighborhood Estates wouldn't be good enough. You got to name it Plantation Estates. It's just something about it that I couldn't live there. I couldn't turn down that street and look at that sign every day, knowing that I done signed up. I'm paying a lot of money every month for 30 years to live on the plantation. You just playing in people's face. Like, you know what I mean? You just playing in people's face and seeing if they gonna go for it. And a lot of people do. It's a lot of black people living in plantation hills, plantation estates. I just couldn't do it though. Like, how do you even tell somebody where you at and not feel some kind of way about it? Like, yeah, we having a cookout. Come on through. All right, where you at? Go down, make that right. Go down about a mile, and then you gonna see Plantation Hills on the right-hand side. That's where we at. We on the Plantation Hills, and we having a good time. So come on over here to the plantation and have a good time with us. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't just get that address out every day. 123 Plantation Hills Drive and not feel like, yo, they laughing at me. They making a fool of me in my face. And I'm paying for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm too woke. I don't know.
Because, of course, there's going to be the white people in the comments saying, all these comments are so disgusting and sad. Like, a building doesn't commit sins, you guys. It's beautiful. You can't see it by the architecture. The architecture. Like, it's such a beautiful place, and this is just so sad. All of these hateful comments. Why are all the comments about slavery? That's like y'all going to the concentration camps where the Holocaust took place, the gas chambers, and saying, oh wow, look at how great this is built. It's so beautiful. And then going an extra mile and saying, why are all these comments about the Holocaust? Like, y'all get for real right now. The amount of horrible things that happened on these grounds, in these walls. And while I can understand for historic purposes that it's great to have these things still around so that we are reminded of what happened, but when this is turned into a resort, then we got a problem. Our ancestors will not be mocked. Our trauma will not be mocked. The disgusting, horrible, traumatic, violent things that happened in these walls, on these grounds, is not something to romanticize and make beautified and forgotten and swept to the side because of the architecture. Are y'all for real? People's family members were unalived here, and it's been made into a resort. Like, and y'all in the comments talking about why are all the comments about slavery? As the largest antebellum mansion in Louisiana burns down. And you can't fathom why African American people are celebrating, are saying good, and are talking about our ancestors. Like, this is our family history. Like, I don't think it's clicking for some of y'all. Y'all can't fathom why we're relishing and celebrating the destruction of a reminder of our family's trauma and abuse and violence that your people inflicted on us. Trauma that lives still within our DNA has impacted the very essence of our being, our very molecular level. But yet you can understand romanticizing it. You can understand making it a place, a getaway, a place to visit, a place to I want to get married here. Y'all can understand that.
Well, this happened to a sugar plantation house down there in Louisiana that used to hold hundreds of enslaved people. Yeah, that happened to it. But, in the words of Curly Bill, well, bye.
Yeah, burn it all down. Burn it all down. Somebody take me. How cornbread was watching that plantation burn down. What the fuck? Is that shit even there? And then just last week, two members, you know, the members that dress in all white with the pointy hats, yeah! They got him, man. Y'all think we playing? We not playing. We not playing no more, okay? We're not our grandparents. We are not playing. That racist shit gotta stop. It has to stop. It's 2025. Like, you literally, like, at this point, you just hate yourself. Like, there's no other explanation for it. I don't know if y'all see my story time like a couple of weeks ago, but I had to deliver to a place in Atlanta, Georgia called Plantation, and a person of color lived there, and I asked her, isn't it weird living here? She told me, yeah, it sucks. Mind y'all, these was $300,000 condos that you have to pay to stay there. But yeah, I hope that one next shit.
Hey guys, I got a statistic for you this morning. You know what's not left? 50 or 13% of that plantation in Louisiana. Burn, baby, burn. Just go and burn up. Burn, baby, burn.
Nottoway Plantation is burning to the ground, and somebody's great-great-great-grandmother's rolling around in her grave or in the spirit realm and just threw her spiritual bonnet in the air. Let's get into it. Did y'all see where these fools are touring the friggin' Annabelle doll? And if you don't know anything about Annabelle, just know that that doll has a certain connotation. If you know, you know. If you don't know anything about Annabelle, know this. There is a priest in the van that's transporting this doll that is throwing holy water at the doll that is covered with a black tarp, but throwing holy water and reciting prayers. Holy water and prayers. Okay? So she's in New Orleans right now. And guess what happened? The famous Nottoway Plantation is burning to the ground. Y'all, Annabelle has come and riled up the ancestors And I'm here for it. And y'all know the veil is thinner than a motherfucker right now. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Just imagine her skipping on over to the ancestors and saying, hey, y'all need to burn that motherfucker down. I mean, truth be told, that place is known for graping, unaliving, buck breaking, just the most horrific things that past slave owners could do to past slaves. It was just horrible. I mean, that thing is a 4-alarm, 5. I don't even know how many alarms there are, but that thing is ablaze, is toast. Am I the only one that believes that there's a connection between Annabelle being there and the plantation burning to the ground? Methinks not. I'm gonna just leave y'all with this. What did Ursher say? Let it burn.
That's right. We are reporting live with excellent news. From Newscast 444, Ancestor Said. Please turn your attention to Exhibit A. Back to you, Daquan.
Hold up, wait a minute. Let my ancestors get in it. Regarding the last video with the chain flipped backwards, y'all knew that chain was fake. Ain't nobody got no 30, 50, 60,000 for no chain. I ain't even rolling like that, man. I wouldn't even buy it if it was that much. Didn't China already tell us we was paying too much for shit that we already... All right, then. All right, now. All right, then, we got that established. My ancestors came to that plantation in Louisiana. Wait a minute. Wait. The ancestors said, let her cook. Boom, 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 boom. Let her cook. Boom, boom, boom. Burn this motherfucker. Free the souls. Free the land. God damn it. No longer can this shit stand because we is on the way. Kanye said it's up. And it's up. Let her cook. Don't. Let her cook. We sick of this shit. We don't want to see that shit no more. It's a lot more got to go. And you too, if you on the side of the bull. I make them holler. Put that shit on my great-great-grandma. Let her cook. True, why y'all was... I already told y'all that. You know how many preachers in my family? I got it. Well, I was born with it. Shout out to the ancestors for snapping back. They said they called the Pentagon and said, we're on the attack. I think most of my people are ready. Well, by the great text yourself taught me that only 2/3 was not gonna go. And you ain't going. Y'all out there talking about a lady need to be beat the hell down. You ain't going to the kingdom. I just want to be the messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm just telling you what you already said to me. The ancestors are sick of this shit. The pastors out here lying all at the freak off. Supposed to be telling you the right from the wrong. And they out there getting along with the gang. Bang, bang. Male titties slanging everywhere. Let her cook. Shout out to Gorilla for that. Let her cook. I I'm so happy to see it burning down. I'm so happy it's really going down. The ancestor tired, bring the choir now. Sing that shit, sing that shit, burn that shit, burn that shit. I said burn that shit, burn that shit. I said beat that shit, burn that shit. Burn it down, burn it down. We ain't going nowhere more. We ain't going. We only going to the store. I said burn that shit, burn that shit, burn that shit. Y'all remember that dance? I'm telling my age. Y'all remember that dance? Burn that shit, burn that shit, burn that shit, burn that shit. The ancestors said, not today, not tomorrow, not again. You were never our friend. Got whole plantations. Didn't they keep them clean, though? They kept them neat.
I'm going to try to do this as respectful as possible. But I don't believe some of you all pay attention to who I am before you send me some stupid-ass videos. Case in point, the fire that destroyed the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana. And people asking me, well, what are your thoughts on this, T. Nathan? Do you think our ancestors are resting now? I can't believe you all tagged me in no bullshit like this or said any bullshit like this to me. First, let me be as clear as possible so there will be no misunderstanding. And maybe you all will stop sending me and asking for my opinion on things like this. I feel absolutely nothing for the destruction of the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana. A 166-year-old house that the burning down of this plantation changes nothing that happened on those grounds. And what are y'all celebrating? Most of y'all wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit salad or have participated in burning down anything during a protest in this country's history. But you're running around here like you're Martha and the Vandellas singing, dancing in the streets, talking about our ancestors can rest now. Where in the baby white Jesus' hell do you all get the idea that our ancestors, after suffering so much in life, were hanging around at the place of their suffering, waiting for it to be burned to the ground? I understand some of you all probably won't know what this means because you're so wrapped up in baby white Jesus' hell, but our ancestors suffered enough in life. Once they get beyond the veil, they are not in their suffering. They're in their paradise. Understand me and understand me clearly. This is not a symbolic victory or any other kind of victory. See, nothing that happened during this fire is going to change anything that happened on that plantation. Understand this also. The same profiting off of the pain and suffering that this plantation engaged in during slavery, it's still engaged in after slavery. And this is the most important part. It will still profit in this fire because the insurance company will compensate the owners. And most likely, the owners will build this plantation back and continue to profit on its history, our blood, sweat, and tears. See, as long as our society exists in the nature it does when it comes to oppression, there are no symbolic victories. They do not move the needle any at all, and they mean absolutely nothing. And you all running around here and dancing in the streets over symbolic victories just show how much you actually understand our fight for liberation. Now, you have the day you deserve.
I want you guys to let me know what you think. I know that some of these topics that we bring out here to discuss are very sentimental and very close to your heart because clearly We don't even have to make an explanation on that, right? And the South in general has such a very disturbing, dark history rooted in slavery and the atrocities that were committed against the black people that were taken from Africa, right? And to be honest, most of the states that received slaves first, Louisiana was part of it. Now I understand that the first one was Virginia, right? But Louisiana itself was one of the beginning, or the pioneers of slavery. And you know how long it took for slavery to even be, abolished in the South. How all other states were actually free and people were running away from the South going to the North because, in the North, people were free, and all along in the South, people were still enslaved. And it is quite shocking looking at some of these plantation houses still standing and people are making business out of it. It saddens me that the only people that were supposed to actually be making profit off this, because their ancestors built this and worked so hard to establish this, the best thing you would do is probably make it a museum and get a contribution of it and send it towards, the descendants of the slaves, right? But unfortunately, palm-colored people have continued to make money off this dark history, benefiting still from this so-called history that they want to hold on to so fast, because guess what? It is making them money. If it was not as profitable, man, it is so sad to look at this, right? They made benefits and profits of slavery. But even after slavery, all these plantation houses, instead, all the plantations that are reserved, these people are renaming it as something beautiful, a resort, right? A resort plantation. And people want to go and exchange their vows, and people are booking it for B&B. People are booking it for all the different functions, right? And these palm-colored people are making quite a lot of a big deal, money, right? And guess what? They are not even willing to share this with black people. And you hear quite a number of them saying, oh, this is going to strike the tourism in Louisiana. Like, who benefits from this? Do black people benefit from this? And some people are saying, oh, we understand that this place has quite a past and a history that is controversial, but remember, we have not lived in that generation, but you continue to benefit off the, legacy of that same dark history. But you're not willing to acknowledge that. You're not willing to acknowledge that money comes into your pocket of that same dark history, right? And you're not willing to even acknowledge the impact that dark history had on the people, right? So you continue to benefit off the trauma of black people. You understand? And that's why for me, I'm like, yes, let it burn and let more other places burn. Meanwhile, for you, you're like, oh, all the people that are in the comment sections, what did the place do and all of that. That shows you that most palm-colored people are just soulless humans that are so insensitive about other people's pains. To you, what you call trauma and pain and dark history, to them it is something to pride themselves. A lot of them benefit off this, so this is their pride. If you want to ask me what is white history and white culture, it's them priding in dark history and the things that have caused, the atrocities that they have committed against the world. That is where their pride comes from. Their pride does not come from their humanity and thinking, oh, this is actually bad, right? Those would be the achievements people would stand in and be prideful and be like, man, we stopped this, right? But rather, these people are priding in the fact that there is still a plantation house that is still standing. Not to forget that most of the southern states are red states, that they are actually sundown towns, and some black people are actually even afraid of entering certain towns at certain times of the night, because the moment you enter there, the looks that you get are always telling you, you are not welcome here. But anyway, this was a long rant. I am so happy that my people are happy, right? I hope this thing does not get revived. And I hope that even if it gets revived, it gets stricken again. But I hope the people, the sweat, the blood, and everything that was put into that plantation, right? Yes, I hope the people that struggled and suffered are able to see what is happening right now, and they rejoice. My last take on this one is, this is a time when God is bringing down everything, right? Yes, He's going to bring down quite a number of strongholds. And trust me, it's going to be quite a very beautiful sight to see for my Black people. But I want you to let me know if you're watching me from Louisiana, from the South, from Alabama, from Tennessee, from that deep South, right? I want you to let me know how you feel, because I understand that even looking at this site, right, you probably could even get goosebumps, because this is deep. This is deep. It is different for me to be reacting on it, right? But it is different for you who had ancestors and you people go through this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I think from me for today, that's it. I love all of you, and let me know what you think about this very episode. Until then, my name is Chrissy and I love all of you. Bye.